What up, nerds? In April, with the rest of you guys, I watched PvP but Hardcore Iron Man go down in a tragic death at Zone.
No! Oh! No way! No way!
At the end of his last episode, C Engineer challenged other content creators to make their own PvP-only Hardcore Iron Man.
If any content creator wanna take on this challenge of creating a PvP world-only Hardcore Iron Man, you have my full blessing. But just know I'm gonna do everything in my power to hunt you down.
This got me thinking, which is a dangerous way to start things, and I eventually decided to take up the challenge with my own twist. Meet my brand new PvP world-locked Ultimate Iron Man. That's right, a Snowflake UIM and a PvP Iron Man series all in one. That sounded way too easy though, so I decided to up the stakes. This little guy is getting a quest cape entirely on PvP worlds, with each death being a potential reset of my entire inventory, looting bag, and gear. Even that sounded way too easy, since what would stop me from grinding to 99 defense and hit points before I risked anything big? So I set a new restriction, an 85 combat quest cape, the lowest possible since it's a requirement for Dream Mentor. This way I have to plan my stats carefully along with all my quests, inventory, food, and transportation, but even that sounded way too easy, so I decided to place a bounty on my head that builds up over time to reward you guys for hunting me down. So, how does that sound, C Engineer? Is that what you had in mind? Now I figure we should go over the rules in depth at least once. This account is locked to PvP worlds for everything it does. I'll make exceptions for minigames that don't work on PvP worlds, like Barbarian Assault for a torso and Nightmare Zone for imbues, but I'll only do these minigames for as long as is required and then hop right back to PvP. That isn't the only problem that minigames are going to cause us though. On PvP worlds, minigame teleports are entirely disabled. No free teleports early game to Castle Wars, Clan Wars, Fishing Trawler, or Barbarian Assault. On an early game Iron Man, this is hell. I considered for a bit allowing myself to hop worlds to minigame teleport, then hop back to PvP since this was an unintended challenge for the account when I started the series. However, since I'm not a little bitch, I'm not going to do that. I'll leave PvP worlds if it's absolutely required to progress in a quest or for a diary, but once I've done what I've needed, then I'm hopping right back. Figuring out a bounty was really tough, since choosing a correct number is hard when you don't know how much you might die. It's possible that I might die multiple times per episode, so paying out tens of millions every death would bankrupt me really fast. In addition, some players who PK me might decide to loot my entire inventory and looting bag, and some might leave it for me to pick up later. This is why I decided on the XP bounty. Every time another player kills me, they'll get the amount of experience I've earned since the last bounty I've paid out in gold. For my first bounty, the person who kills me will get my total XP in gold, which will then reset the amount that I'll pay out for the next time. This encourages players to hunt me somewhat regularly, taking me down before my bounty gets too high and another player snags it for tens of millions, but it discourages camping me since killing me a second time immediately would accomplish nothing. Finally, the endgame build. I plan to get a quest cape with the following stats: no more than 60 attack and strength each, 70 defense, 85 ranged and magic with around 85 hit points and 45 prayer, for a total of 85 combat exactly. I beat Serene and Galvek with lower stats on my main Iron Man, so I think it's definitely possible, but it could also be insanely hard to stockpile brews or bolts when I'm being hunted on a UIM. If I make it to the endgame Grandmaster quests and need some extra levels to finish them, it's not the end of the world. This is mostly just a goal to prevent grinding too high of a defense level early on. Getting the quest cape is my first goal, the lowest combat possible is just a flex. So here we are, the start of a brand new adventure. No trading, no banking, and no safety. Even though I gave this account membership before I started, I wasn't actually able to do Tutorial Island on a PvP world, so I'm dropping all my items since I got them on a normie world. This way I get to log into a PvP world fresh with no stats or items, since I'm not going to let anyone call me a cheater. My first goal was nice and easy, 15 fire making. After grabbing my UIM armor for the swag points and thieving a few men, I bought a tinder box from the general store to replace the one that I dropped. Then I popped up to the roof of Lumbridge Castle to start burning logs. The reason I'm burning logs here instead of chopping normal trees involves one of the first quests I'm doing, Monk's Friend. Monk's Friend gets you to almost 15 woodcutting from level 1, letting you skip normal trees entirely straight to oaks. However, I still wouldn't have the fire making level to burn them. I need fire making early on for 2 reasons, which I'll get into later, so a smooth transition into oaks and then teaks will make it really easy. Occasionally, when I had full health, I'd pop into the courtyard and thieve men in the safe zone for some starting GP. The failure rates early on are really high, and there are no good sources of food in the immediate area, so I just let my health regen up on the Lumbridge rooftop. Running around an unsafe zone with 1 HP is definitely risky as hell, since another fresh level 3 account could just wind strike me to death, but I figured I'd risk it since I wasn't going to lose that much. Gold is going to be really useful early on for a few reasons. I want a steel axe from Bob to train woodcutting and firemaking with, I want a chronicle from Diango to teleport to Varrock, and I need 30 gold each time I take the boat between Remington, Brimhaven, and Ardoyne, which is one of my best methods of transportation early on. Thieving men isn't a great moneymaker, but when you're a level 3 Ultimate Iron Man that just spawned in, you really can't be picky. I spoke to Duke Horatio to start Rune Mysteries, then to Father Eric to start Restless Ghosts. I'll be going back and forth to Lumbridge a lot early on, since the home teleport is the only one I've got, so fortunately I can finish these quests over time without going too far out of my way. I bought a steel axe as I left as well, which I can't even equip yet. I grabbed the Ghost Speak amulet from the shed, then delivered the air talisman to the Wizard's Tower. I popped up to Draenor to visit an amazing shop that I'm sure I'll visit very often. Fortunato sells 5 jugs of wine for 1 gold each, and with a couple of world hops I can easily fill up my inventory with food that heals 11, more than my entire HP bar. It reduces my attack to 0 each time, but since my attack is only 1 and I don't plan to melee anything for a while, that's not a problem. Now I have plenty of health to continue thieving men for a chronicle. Early on you might see items appear and disappear in my inventory. This is my first time playing a UIM, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I've never touched the mode, and so early on I'll be picking up pretty much anything I can find and see in case I can use it later, especially if I recognize it as a quest item. I've got a quest cape on my normal Iron Man, so I'm not as unprepared as I could be, but you should still expect to see a lot of uncertainty in my inventory early on. Since gold is so tight, I'll be regularly selling everything I don't need to the general store. Now that I've got a chronicle, I can buy teleports to Varrock for 150 gold each. This alone is really nice, since I don't have the levels or runes to teleport anywhere by myself, but what's also amazing is that you can equip it as an offhand to save inventory space. This item is even more important for free-to-play accounts, but as an early Iron Man, it's clutch. In Varrock, I pet the dog and then bring the package to Aubrey. I want to be able to equip my steel axe, and Varrock has an interesting little tool for that. The dummies near the Varrock East Bank give you 5 attack experience each time you hit them, without giving any HP. I could train my attack on cows or chickens like a proper noob, but combat experience in general is something I want to avoid. See, Wintertaunt is an extremely good minigame for early UIMs because of the construction experience and early GP. I'm playing an account that can potentially lose everything at almost any moment, and right now, I'm terrified just walking through Varrock, and one of the ways to prevent a total wipe is with my play-around house. If I can grab early construction levels at Wintertaunt and then dump the gold into my POH, I can get tools from it whenever I want, store armor and skilling outfits, and even place portals. Construction is probably my most important skill, and the Toad is the best place to train it. At Wintertaunt, you take damage based on your max HP, so it's best to keep it low if you don't have access to great food. The formula is pretty complicated, but basically I'm going to keep my damage at a minimum by staying at 13 health or lower. If I grab a lot of combat levels and other stats, then suddenly accounts in my bracket can easily one-shot me. Even 5 attack is a risk, since it puts me at 4 combat. A character at level 19 can cast Firebolt, which maxes out at 12 and can easily one-shot me. This might have been the first major mistake of the series, but at least I can equip my steel axe now to free up an inventory slot. And that's the story of how I got 5 attack. Now, I might look like a huge noob, but I feel like a massive Chad. Look at that absolute unit of a UIM, 4 combat already and still unkilled in PvP. I teleported back to Lumbridge and immediately realized another major challenge on this account. I'm going to see so much loot on the ground that I just can't take. These are top tier supplies ripe for the picking, and I can't even touch it. I snagged a training bow to go kill a rat, since eventually I'll be doing druidic ritual and I'll need some rat meat for it. Killing anything on a fresh account with a training bow is rough, but once I remembered to take off my UIM armor, it got a little easier. I don't mind hitting 11 or 12 HP soon to make it harder to one-shot me, but I'm still going to be real careful about any combat experience. Now it's time to venture out on my quest to get ready for wintertime. Al-Kharid is going to be another amazing spot for my account, with the Clan Wars portal to restore my stats, a Castle Wars portal to cross the map, and a coffer at LMS to store gold. When I die, all the gold in the coffer will still be there, so it's one of the few ways to keep progress between deaths. It might be a while until I use the LMS coffer though, since it's so far out of the way and I don't have access to the minigame teleport to get there. Still, it's not too bad a run from Lumbridge. While passing through, I start Prince Ali Rescue, then head over to the Clan Wars portal to restore my run energy. And this is where my spirit died. Like many other minigames mentioned before, Clan Wars doesn't work on PvP worlds, which includes the free-for-all portal. Since Ironmen can't use other players' houses, this portal is the place to get your health, prayer, stats, and run energy back to full. I camped this portal so hard on my Ironman all the way up until I could boost for 90 construction, so getting by without it is going to be a really interesting challenge. But hey, I didn't sign up to do a lowest combat possible quest cape on a PvP locked Ultimate Ironman because I wasn't looking for interesting challenges. There are a few ways I can restore my stats without a max house though. I can die inside my house's dungeon, I can grind a Xeric's talisman and leech a tablet to teleport to Chambers of Xeric, or I can use the Swampletics method. Finish Taste of Hope and use the Dracon's Medallion to restore my stats in the Theater of Blood. Funnily enough, the Mauritania-locked UIM's method might be my best shot as well, thanks to my own PvP world restrictions. So, there was our first look at the PvP-only UIM. My goal with this episode was mostly to introduce the concept, explain the rules, and give you guys a taste of the progression. This entire series is going to be extremely experimental. I've never played a UIM, and I've never done a progress series. You might see the first few episodes change pretty dramatically as I respond to feedback on how to record, commentate, edit, and generally progress on the account. If the concept is interesting at all to you, then please stick around, give me your advice, and see what happens. I've been playing the account for about a week now, and it's been extremely fun so far. I've gotten a chance to see what the danger is like, I've been attacked quite a few times, and overall I'm really excited. In this series, I'm going to get a chance to show you some UIM training methods in depth, take you through some stressful chase scenes, and hopefully get a little bit closer to a quest cape each and every episode. I hope you guys are at least a little as excited about this new journey as I am. Next episode, we'll complete a ton of early stats and quests, show off a unique UIM construction method, and have our first PvP encounter. I'll see you there.
I know she lost the sunrise, no longer sees it with her sleeping eyes, and I know that when she says she's gonna try, well, it might not work because of other ties, and I know she usually has some other ties, and I wouldn't wanna break on, no, I wouldn't wanna break on. Maybe she'll help me to untie this, but until then, well, she's gonna have to lie to me.